Louis Vuitton, Dior, Cartier. You've been told these are iconic brands. You've been made to want the products. But that's a carefully crafted illusion. The truth is, behind this gilded curtain is a hidden world of power, a world controlled not by corporations, but by a handful of the richest, most powerful families on earth. This is a real-life Game of Thrones, where fathers, sons and daughters battle for multi-billion-dollar empires, and strategic backstabbing decides who rules. These families are the puppet masters of luxury, and today, we're cutting the strings. We're going to expose how they built their kingdoms, how they hold their power, and most importantly, we are going to rank them. Using a unique power score based on brand portfolios, staggering revenues and sheer market control, we will pull back the curtain and definitively reveal who truly sits on the throne of the luxury world. Before we start the countdown, let's break down the anatomy of a dynasty. What exactly makes these families so powerful? Unlike a typical public company, these family-run empires don't think in quarterly results, they think in generations. This long-term vision lets them weather economic storms and focus on brand heritage over short-term profits. Their control is often locked in through complex ownership deals and family-run boards, giving them the freedom to make bold, decisive moves that a traditional corporation just couldn't. To rank them, we've developed our own power score. 40% of the score is based on sheer market share, a direct measure of their dominance over the global luxury goods market. 25% is for revenue, the raw financial firepower they command. 15% is for the size of their brand portfolio, 10% for the family's direct ownership stake, and the final 10% for global influence, their cultural impact and brand strength. Now, let's get to the ranking. Starting from the bottom of our list. Coming in at number 3 on our list is the strategic challenger, the Pinault family, the force behind the Kering group. The story of this dynasty doesn't start with glittering diamonds or high fashion, but with a timber business started by François Pinault in the 1960s. It's a classic rags-to-riches tale. Pinault, who dropped out of school at 16 because he was bullied for his poor background, borrowed money from family and a bank to launch his first company. Through shrewd and often ruthless business tactics, he built a retail empire that his son, François-Henri Pinault, would later pivot directly into the world of high fashion. Today, Kering is a titan, but it's a more focused one than our number 1 contender. The family, through its holding company Hermès, owns about 42% of Kering. For the full year 2025, Kering posted revenues of 14.7 billion euros, or around $17 billion. This gives them significant firepower, but it's a fraction of their biggest rivals. Their power lies in their portfolio of some of the hottest names in fashion. They control crown jewels like Yves Saint Laurent, Balenciaga, and their powerhouse, Gucci. For years, Gucci was the engine of the entire group, a cultural phenomenon that defined the look of a decade. But this reliance on one Megabrand is both Kering's greatest strength and its biggest weakness. While their portfolio contains over 10 brands, Gucci's stumbles can shake the entire empire, a fact reflected in their recent financial reports. The Pinault dynasty is undeniably powerful and a major force in shaping global trends, but their concentrated bets place them firmly in the challenger position. Climbing the list to our number 2 spot, we find the Titans of Time, the Rupert family of South Africa, and their kingdom, Richemont. This dynasty operates with a completely different strategy. While the Pinauts chase the fleeting trends of fashion, the Ruperts control something more permanent, hard luxury. We're talking watches and jewelry. The dynasty was founded by Anton Rupert in the 1940s, but it was his son, Johann Rupert, who spun off the family's international assets in 1988 to create Richemont. Today, Johann Rupert chairs a company that absolutely dominates the world of high-end jewellery and watchmaking. And here's the clever part. While the family's direct equity stake is only around 10%, a special share structure gives them over 51% of the voting rights, cementing their absolute control. This is the definition of a hidden dynasty, wielding immense power without needing to own the majority of the company. For their fiscal year ending in March 2025, Richemont posted revenues of 21.4 billion euros, or just over $23 billion. Their portfolio includes over 30 brands, but it's the names that really matter. They own Cartier and Van Cleef & Arpels, two of the most legendary jewelers in history. On the watchmaking side, their control is even more absolute, with a lineup of iconic brands including Vacheron Constantin, Jaeger-LeCoultre, IWC Schaffhausen, and Panerai. Richemont's power isn't just in the brands it owns, but in the specific market it dominates. Their jewellery maison division alone brought in over 15 billion euros, driven by soaring demand for high jewellery. While their watch division has faced challenges, the sheer prestige of their jewellery brands gives them a formidable, high-margin foundation. The Rupert strategy is all about focused dominance. They may not have the sprawling reach of our number one, but in the exclusive billion-dollar world of hard luxury, they are the undisputed kings. There can only be one emperor. At the absolute pinnacle of the luxury world sits our number one dynasty, the Wolf in Cashmere, the Arnault family, led by its patriarch, Bernard Arnault. He's called the Wolf in Cashmere for a reason. For over 3 decades, he has relentlessly and masterfully assembled the largest luxury conglomerate on the planet, LVMH. The numbers are simply staggering. In 2025, LVMH reported revenues of 80.8 billion euros, or nearly $90 billion. That is more than Kering and Richemont's revenues combined. Their portfolio consists of over 75 maisons, or houses, spanning every corner of the luxury industry. You have fashion and leather goods with titans like Louis Vuitton and Christian Dior, watches and jewellery with Tiffany & Company and Bulgari, perfumes and cosmetics, and even wines and spirits with Moet and Chandon and Hennessy. This diversification gives them a nearly impenetrable defense. If one sector slows down, another can pick up the slack. Their scale is so immense that they effectively shape the entire market. But Arnault's power wasn't just built, it was taken. His reputation as a ruthless corporate raider was cemented during one of the most famous battles in fashion history, his attempted hostile takeover of Hermès. He secretly acquired a huge stake in the fiercely independent family-run company, a move the Hermès family called an assault. It was a clash of titans, the ultimate family firm against the ultimate conglomerate. While Arnault ultimately failed to capture the brand, the battle sent a clear message to the industry: no one was safe from his ambition. That ambition is now secured for generations. In early 2026, the Arnault family increased its ownership stake in LVMH to just over 50%, giving them an absolute majority and tightening their iron grip on the empire. And this is where the real-life game of succession begins. All 5 of Bernard Arnault's children hold senior executive positions within LVMH, each leading a critical part of the empire. The question of who will one day inherit the throne is a constant topic of speculation in the financial world. This meticulously planned dynasty ensures that the Arnault name will control the pinnacle of luxury for the foreseeable future. Our ranking focuses on the big conglomerates, but we can't ignore the honourable mentions, the silent dynasties who wield power through a different model entirely: intense focus and private ownership. The Dumas family, who are descendants of the founder of Hermès, are a perfect example. They don't have a portfolio, they have one single, perfect brand. Their power comes from scarcity, an unmatched brand equity. With an estimated brand value of over $100 billion by some metrics, their control is absolute, maintained through a nearly 73% family ownership stake designed specifically to repel invaders like Arnault. Then there are the Wertheimer brothers, Alain and Gerard, who own Chanel. They are perhaps the most secretive dynasty in all of luxury. Because Chanel is a private company, its finances are a mystery, making a direct comparison difficult. But with an estimated brand value that now rivals and in some cases surpasses Louis Vuitton, their power is undeniable. They operate in the shadows, their influence is immense, but their public profile is almost non-existent. So there you have it, our ranking of the most powerful families in luxury. But the world of high fashion is always changing. The rankings are constantly shifting and new challenges are always emerging. Who do you think will rise or fall in the next decade? Did our ranking surprise you? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. From the strategic challenger Pinault to the hard luxury titan Rupert to the undisputed emperor Arnault, it's clear that the world of luxury isn't run by faceless boards, but by a handful of powerful families. They command empires with revenues that dwarf the GDP of some nations. They aren't just selling you a handbag or a watch, they are selling a dream, and in doing so, they've built dynasties that will shape our culture for generations to come. The biggest question now is what the next generation will do with that power, and who will be sitting on the throne in a decade's time.